New midfield target for Manchester United. Is it exciting to see Ineos actually look at another option rather than just going right down the road of going for the big ones? We're having issues with PSG. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what Richard Rios is actually all about, where he comes from, why United are even looking at him, what's the deal, what's the price, what's the age, everything about the player. Let's get into that. Obviously, we've got an update on Matthijs de Ligt. We're expecting some news this week. The president of Bayern Munich has come out and accepted that he sees de Ligt leaving this summer. Still a standoff in price, and Manchester United needed to offload players. Offloading players is a massive issue for Manchester United right now. Deep diving into all of what's happened overnight, over the last few days, from other accounts from the other side of clubs that have actually been bidding for Manchester United players that look like they're not going down the road of going to get them right now. We've got loads to get into on that, on Wan Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Scott McTominay as well, and updates with them players. Getting your thoughts in as well. This is your early morning update, setting you up early morning, 22nd of July. Let's get this week cracking. We said yesterday it was going to be a busy one. I'm starting it out with your morning update on this fantastic Monday morning. We'll see, because the kids finish school here in England in a couple of days, so I don't know if it's going to be the same for most people. But I've got you covered with all Manchester United news. Get the brew on, get your breakfast in, you're on the school run, you're out on your way to work, whatever it is, I've got you covered. Let's get you updated with everything going on with Manchester United. 500 likes is your target for the show, guys. Get them likes in, thank you, and make sure you have subscribed as well. And you won't miss a thing with Manchester United, starting with Richard Rios, the Colombian central midfielder, star performer in a lot of people's eyes over in the Copa America. We know that they did well in getting all the way to the final, narrowly losing to our boys, Alejandro Garnacho and Lisandro Martinez and that Argentina side. But a star performer for them. Is it just a breath of fresh air knowing that Manchester United are looking at players that are not on the director scale? They're not there, are they? They're not like in public domain. Yeah, you could look at it and say, I'm slightly worried simply because he's got no European football experience whatsoever. He is just from Palmeiras, by the way. That's where he applies his trade. He's come into the public eye because of the Copa America, really. AC Milan are also interested as well. The good thing about this is it's a cheap deal. Now, lots and lots of people have been saying, why are we not delving into that South American market? And people will say, yeah, we're looking at Agate. Look, we're bringing him in there. But yeah, he's already in Europe. We already know what he's about. He's playing in the Champions League. Is it not time that Manchester United went into the transfer market and found these gems? So Jim Radcliffe's words ringing in all Manchester United fans' ears, saying we want to find the next Mbappe. Well, maybe we're trying to find the next Casemiro as well. Maybe Richard Rios is that type of player. We're not saying that this is a done deal. We're not saying that this is far down the line. But Manchester United, apparently, according to sources over there in Colombia, I think it was Goal who put it out this morning, a South American journalist that they quoted in talking about Richard Rios, is that United are looking, the price is around about 17 million. Seems like a really good price, doesn't it? It does. But the word is, and the story is, that they're not looking to sell in Palmeiras, that is, this summer. He only has 2 years left on his contract, so he's into his last 2 years. So there is obviously room there for Manchester United to work with. Is he ready for the Premier League? Can we bring in a player like that? Is it a case of Casemiro stays and this player comes in and works alongside him for a season, plies his trade there? Is this the way Manchester United are looking at it? 24, just turned 24 last month as well. So definitely fits into the profile of player. He is that destroying, starter of play type of player. He has been an ever-present, playing in every single game in the Copa America. Pretty much, I think there was only one game against Uruguay where he sort of, I think he came off after an hour, but past that, plays in every single game that Colombia have played. And he does, you know what? It's just nice to see a different option out there. It's nice to see Manchester United looking elsewhere and having a backup plan, because we are struggling with Manuel Ugarte. No matter what people say in the media, saying that talks are progressing well and everything like that, are they progressing well? Really? Because United don't want to spend £59 million on Manuel Ugarte. They don't want to give that money to PSG. It would be a record signing this summer for Manchester United. Well, the highest bid, the most expensive player that United will bid for, if we do get Manuel Ugarte. If the price is met with PSG, they're standing firm on this. And again, we go back into the loan market and what happened and what we can actually do with with the transfer window and how we can get players in that aren't that expensive. It's really difficult, I think, right now because we are spent up, we know this, and players like Rios are probably the type of player that we need to be looking at right now, because if we're struggling to get rid of players, then this is where United have to be. You will look at this and go, it's not expensive. If it doesn't work out, it's not that bad a deal. Manchester United can probably still move him on. He's the right age of profile, but he is playing well. And when you're competing at that highest level, if you're competing at that highest level and you're obviously in there with the likes of Uruguay, Argentina, South America, yeah, I understand the concern about never having any European football experience, but there's plenty of South American players that have absolutely tore it up in Europe in their first seasons. It's a big ask coming to Manchester United, but it's also it's you've just got to trust in the recruitment side of things. That's the problem what Manchester United have got. Like, do we have the right scouts out there looking at these players? Someone else will pick Rios up. Someone will make that match. Someone will find the Neves. Someone will find the Agate. Someone will get that deal over the line before Manchester United. And these other big clubs are doing this. So why cannot Manchester United do this? This is what we're dealing with right now. This is where I think Manchester United need to be at. The recruitment side of things is everything. He looks like a good player. I'm not even going to say that I've watched him in Palmeiras. I've not. I've just catched up on what's been going on with him in the Copa America, which is why everyone's talking about him, like I said. But past that, it's a bigger thing for me that Manchester United are looking at other options in midfield, knowing that we are struggling with Agate and PSG. We haven't got much more money left, and we are struggling to sell players. There is an update on Matthias de Ligt coming from Bayern Munich as well, in that the president is accepting that Manchester United, well, not Manchester United, accepting that we are going to be, they're going to be losing Matthias de Ligt this summer. And this week is going to be crucial for them talks as well with Matthias de Ligt. So we'll see movement on that as well. There is more stories just coming out as well about Santiago again, our man who was breaking the news regarding Agate and saying that the deal was close on Saturday, is now coming out and saying that PSG have made an offer to Manchester United for Jadon Sancho. Sancho to PSG, guys. This is breaking right now. Very interesting. I'm going to get some information up on this now. Let's just get into everything that's going on with this quickly, guys. Right. I'm just going to try and find what's going on. Yeah, so basically there's a few people saying that Jadon Sancho has been offered to, or that PSG have actually offered Manchester United Jadon Sancho. I'm trying to find more news on this now for you guys. Just bear with me 1 second. Nothing from any major accounts. It is coming from our man Santiago again. I'm just going to get him up now. Let's just see. Bear with me a second, guys. I'm just trying to get all the information I possibly can on this one, just to make sure it is genuine. Right. Okay, so I've got it up in front of me now. This is from his own actual account. It says, PSG made contractual proposal to Jadon Sancho. The positions are close together. From the Parisian sources, the Manchester United winger is extremely excited by the project presented by PSG. It remains to be seen whether Manchester United will wish to release their player and at what price. Interesting to see if that is actually genuine or not. That opens up everything for the dealings with Agate. Probably you're probably looking at as well. Xavi there, you're looking at Xavi Simons, Agate. Yeah, when you think about it, if Jadon Sancho is being offered to PSG, or PSG are happy to take Jadon Sancho, this opens up a world of possibilities for Manchester United. Craig in there, 8 months a member, just renewed. Love the early shows, Adam. FUTV #1 on YouTube. Love that, Craig. Thank you for that, mate. Keep your comments coming in, guys. Keep your likes coming in. We're getting through everything that we possibly can. We was going to be talking there regarding some outgoings. We're just going to stick with this Jadon Sancho situation at the moment, because this has just come around now. Sancho makes sense. Cheap version of Rashford. Yeah, I mean, they are looking for that extra forward, PSG. And if they are looking to sell Xavi Simons as well, not sell him, but loan him out, United should absolutely double down on this situation right now. If this is true, and Manchester United are actually open to selling Jadon Sancho to PSG, if we can sell him, then good God, yes, make that happen. Make that happen very quickly, because that would just give us Agate and probably Xavi Simons on a plate. It would, because the loan deal for Simons can be done easily if United are willing to offer Sancho as make weight for Agate. That's a 2-for-1 for Manchester United, a no-brainer, and a bonus one as well in getting rid of Jadon Sancho. If this is real and if this is actually happening, then Manchester United have to be well and truly pushing this as hard as possible. Jadon Sancho to PSG makes sense in so many ways. It really does. So, yeah, let's get onto what's happening with that. I'm going to keep a foot of that as we go through the show, guys. It is the morning update show, and we have got some sort of breaking news here with Jadon Sancho at the start of the week. Like we said, tomorrow we're going to find out, or probably even today, we're going to find out who leaves on Wednesday for the US tour. Now, obviously, everyone's going to put 2 and 2 together. The likes of Jadon Sancho is on that list as well, and Manchester United are taking him on the tour. It's been reported that he is going on it, but we've only just heard about this proposal possibly from PSG for Jadon Sancho. So, looking at it, yeah, right. So, is there any more updates on this? I'm just checking. It is just simply down to Santiago and what he has said on this so far. No one else has jumped onto this. Some of your messages and comments on this. 40 million for Sancho, I would take not less than that, though. I'd take 20 million and get him out the bleeding door, mate. That's what I would do. I'd get the problem gone. It's a massive wage off the wage bill. And if we can put that in on Agate and make that happen, the Manchester United summer is pretty much... you're moving into the realms of getting the absolute best outcome summer that you could for the situation Ineos are walking into in their first ever pre-season at Manchester United. Sancho gone, brings in Agate. You could probably negotiate with Simons on that as well and use that as like, yeah, we can give you that. We can give you your price for Agate. We'll give you Sancho as a make weight in that. Give you a bit of money on top as well for Agate. Make that deal permanent in Manchester United's midfield pretty much sorted if Casemiro is staying for another year. And then try and get rid of... Sancho's gone the other way, sorry. Simons comes in as well, giving us that other option up front with Sancho going. Oh, come on, seriously. You've got to look at that and go, that is a ultimate no-brainer, surely. And, yeah, I would say make it happen quick. And Manchester United are in position A. Then we just need to make a couple of little sales and get... let's have a couple of sales. Get the Ligt in. A few players out. Yeah, I mean, looking at it and thinking about it, I would say that this pretty much makes Manchester United's transfer window. That takes you into an 8 or 9 out of 10 transfer window if you get this done. If you get Sancho gone, Agate in, sell a couple of players on the fringe, which would give us enough money just to get the Ligt through and over the line, and then you get Xavi Simons on loan with an obligation to buy as well. That's 5 players in. That all could arguably be said to be going straight into that first team. That is one hell of a summer. I know the fullback situation is what it is, but I'm going to get into that in a minute as well. But yeah, Jadon Sancho definitely is, I'd say, absolute bonus time. It is. I'm just trying to read through everything right now as this is actually all going down, guys. So just bear with me. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the like button as well, guys. No one else is bringing you news this early in the morning about Jadon Sancho possibly going out to PSG. There is overtime work going on at Manchester United right now. And it seems that we are... Oh, guys, yesterday it looked like it was going quiet. And you know what? Even at the back of my mind, I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, we've got the pre-season tour coming up and everything is sort of just quietening down a little bit. 2 major signings in, that's good. Now we're concentrating on the football. And then bang, like that, you get news like this. Oh, seriously? Like, Rios, first of all. If United are in for him, I love that deal. If we can get Jadon Sancho gone and convince PSG that, you know what, you're getting that forward player that you want, we can cover most of the Agate price with it. We could still get Rios and Agate. Then we've still got options We've got multiple options in midfield, and players that don't want to leave are going to have to spend time on the bench. And you know what? If it turns out that some of these players leave on the cheaper next season or free next season, it's just the way it's going to be. Manchester United being in the Champions League pretty much is more transfer fee than anything you're going to get. I'll keep over the transfer news regarding Jadon Sancho and what's happening with that situation. United struggling to sell Wan Bissaka and Scott McTominay. Look, if Ten Hag wants to keep Scott McTominay and he feels like we can trigger his 1 year extension this season and keep him for another year because his contract ends after this season, but there is an option to trigger a last year as well on top of that. If they want to keep him and they say, look, we could probably earn more money in trying to keep this squad full and give it plenty of depth and keep Scott McTominay as a squad player, and that helps us get into the Champions League. There's more money in getting to the Champions League than selling Scott McTominay this summer. And that's probably what you've got to look at as well in all of this. If he comes on and does and has the impact that he did last season off the bench, then Manchester United probably look at it and go, we're not going to get what we want for Scott. No one's bidding over 25 million for him. Why don't we keep him and we'll earn more than that in getting back in the bleeding Champions League next season? That's the reality of it right now. If we've got that, we can bring in Agate, we can bring in Rios or someone like that. And obviously the Rios deal is nowhere near, and it's just a rumour at the moment and a story that's coming about that United are interested. That's great news on its own because we are looking at other make weights and cheaper players, not just the big name players. But Sancho leaving to PSG just completely throws this transfer window up into the air in such a good way for Manchester United that we need this to be happening. If it does, then yeah, and like I said, it is just a story that's come out from a respectable journalist who has been on to a few things recently with Manchester United. A lot of people use his quotes and everything like that. Be interesting to see if anything comes about from any of the major players in terms of journalists and everything with this story as well as the day progresses. And we'll bring you back more information on this obviously at 12 o'clock in the midday show as well, guys. But as it is of now, like Manchester United struggling to sell Scott McTominay, Wan Bissaka, the talks have cooled with West Ham on that one as well. Apparently now the price is too high. 15 bastard million. Are you serious right now? You're spending fortunes on buddy Max Kilman and you can't put out 15 million for Wan Bissaka. There's a big chance that Manchester United are going to have Wan Bissaka and Scott McTominay still in their squad at the end of this transfer window. If that is the case, Wan Bissaka is going to end up going on a free. We lose 15 million. But like I just said then, if we've got squad depth, we get back into the Champions League, we're high up in the league, we're earning more money for the position we get for finishing the Premier League, and we're back there getting the riches that do come with the Champions League. Is that not more than what you're actually going to get for selling Scott McTominay and Wan Bissaka this summer? You could argue yes, because 40 million is the mark of what's going on right now in terms of rumoured prices for Wan Bissaka and Scott McTominay. Are we not going to get 40 million for being back in the Champions League? I think so. And if them players do help us get there, then it looks like a sensible decision. We do need cover at right back. Manchester United could look at the Jadon Sancho situation right now on PSG and go, let's strengthen our options up front as well by bringing in Xavi Simons on loan. Get Agate over the line. Sancho's out the door. Replacements are there. We could bring in a Rios. We could get Agate because of the Sancho deal. 2 more midfielders there. If Scott and Casemiro want to stay, we've got rid of Amrabat. So effectively, we're back to where we was, but a little bit stronger. We need a squad. We need quality and depth. We then look at all of the games and the pressure comes back on Ten Hag because he has to then start rotating this team. If he rotates this team, then Manchester United can go far this season. Has he got the capabilities to handle such a big squad with all of these pressures and expectations now being heaped on Manchester United? I think he does with the squad and the playing staff that he's now got at his disposal. Van Nistelrooy is definitely going to help him this season. Hark obviously as well. He's got his trusted team behind him. And this all looks very promising for Manchester United going forward. We need to be looking at this in a positive light, really. I know it's players like Wan Bissaka and Scott McTominay, and I've said they need to go. I still think they need to go, but I am a realist when it comes to what actually happens in transfer windows and how difficult it can be to get rid of players. Scott stays, Wan Bissaka stays. We can get Victor Lindelof out of the door. We can get Hannibal, we can get Palestri gone. I'm sure there's enough money there to actually manage to get the Ligt over the line. There's still possibilities that we can obviously sell more players as well. But Sancho going to PSG, Agate the other way, Rios in as well, 2 midfielders, sell Victor Lindelof, sell Hannibal, sell Palestra, make the Ligt happen. That is a first class 10 out of 10 summer for me, because I know people will say we need fullbacks still, but in terms of the situation that they're in, the aggro that Ineos are walking into after the worst season ever, players' wages, stuff like that, to be honest, you've just got to accept where you're at and where the club is at and go, do you know what, this isn't a bad summer. This really isn't a bad summer. But yes, I'm just going to double check any more happenings that have going on or reports with Jadon Sancho. By the way, on Zubimendi, after the Euros, I don't know if anyone picked up on this, I just found the interview that came up about where he would be next summer. He said he's going to be at Real Sociedad. He's got a contract with them, and that's where he's happiest. So he's happy to stay. You're going to have to bust the bank or put a real convincer to get Zubimendi on. As good as the player is, and United looking at him, yeah, fantastic. But the reality is we are going to struggle to get Zubimendi over the line. It's a player that hasn't made his intentions obvious and wanting to come. Agate has. I think that's where Manchester United are going. I do think Zubimendi's a better player than Agate, but still, you have to look at it and go, well, sadly, we're not going to be able to get him. So let's just go with what we've got right now in front of us in Agate. If Sancho is real and that is an offer coming in, then yeah, well, we have to jump all over that. That changes the window and the outlook of this transfer window completely. If Jadon Sancho is a possibility for PSG, and we'll bring more news on this as the day comes on, because this is just a quick fire show right now, then you're looking at Manchester United definitely getting in the Champions League for me. If that's the team going into the season and we got them players in, them 5 in, then that for me is Manchester United back in the Champions League. No excuse whatsoever. Everybody's fit right now at United. Right, guys, that is your morning update. We are pretty much finished with everything going on. A little bit of breaking news. It is just coming out from one source at the moment on Jadon Sancho to PSG, and everything that opportunity-wise opens up with that. We'll cover that later on. We'll get more details and see if that actually goes down. Let's see if that gets any more traction as the day goes on. We'll keep a foot of that. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button to be covered on all Manchester United news, guys. Thank you so much. Give the video a like on the way out. I'll see you all at 12 o'clock today, midday. Cheers, everybody. Have a fantastic morning. Hope your week starts off well, and I'll see you all later on.